to the Stoicism Soul, where we explore ancient philosophies to help you unlock your fullest potential and live a meaningful life. In Chinese history, the philosophy of flow is referred to as Wu Wei, which means effortless action or effortless doing. In some traditions of ancient India, the concept of samyama is a form of flow state, sharing many similarities with Wu Wei. The Tao Te Ching describes non-action as a paradox in which dualistic tensions like passivity and aggression resolve. That which offers no resistance overcomes the hardest substances. That which offers no resistance can enter where there is no space. Few in the world can comprehend the teaching without words or understand the value of non-action. One of the key principles that arises from Taoist philosophy is the concept of Wu Wei, which can be interpreted as non-action, effortless action, or the paradoxical idea of achieving through non-action. In practical terms, Wu Wei is closely associated with the state of flow, a term often used by athletes to describe the experience of being in the zone. In this state, athletes perform their tasks seamlessly, with no tension or force. Time seems to stretch and pass with ease as they engage in their actions without striving. There is no overthinking, no anxiety, and no push against the natural rhythm of things. Everything simply flows in harmony. This state of flow encapsulates the essence of Taoism, which teaches us how to live in alignment with the natural flow of the world. The Tao Te Ching, Taoism's most sacred text, is a profound and mysterious work. Its exact origins are uncertain, and the identity of its author remains a subject of debate. Yet, despite its enigmatic nature, the wisdom contained in this text has profoundly shaped human thought and continues to resonate today. Through Wu Wei, Taoism invites us to understand the power of moving with life's natural currents, where effortlessness becomes the path to true accomplishment, and where we can achieve more by doing less. The Tao Te Ching, one of the most influential texts in world literature, is revered for its profound teachings, second only to the Bible in terms of translations. At its heart, Taoism speaks of living in harmony with the Tao, or the Way. But what exactly is the Tao? This is a question that cannot truly be answered. The Tao is beyond the limits of our comprehension, and to try to define it is an exercise in futility. Our understanding is shaped by our perceptions, but the Tao itself transcends what we can see, feel, or even imagine. Lao Tzu himself wisely says, "The Tao that can be described is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be spoken is not the eternal name." So, what is available to us regarding the Tao? Taoist philosophers repeatedly remind us that the Tao is an all-encompassing, ineffable force that exists beyond our sensory perception. While we may never fully grasp the true nature of the Tao, the goal is to live in alignment with it. This is strikingly similar to the Stoic belief of living in accordance with nature. How, then, can we live in harmony with the Tao? Taoist texts do not present a single, concrete method to achieve this. Instead, they offer a series of practices that help us move closer to this ideal. Stilling the mind, quieting the senses, practicing humility, and learning to cease unnecessary striving. It is through these practices that we open ourselves to the natural flow of the universe. Stillness of mind does not necessarily mean sitting in silence with our eyes closed. Taoists teach that stillness can coexist with action. When we are fully present in the moment, our actions flow effortlessly, without friction, and with a focused clarity that can feel almost transcendent. This harmonious alignment allows us to move through life with grace and ease, as though every action is an effortless expression of the universe itself. In his biography, the retired professional basketball player Bill Russell reflects on his experience, describing it almost as though time slowed down during those moments. He writes, "I could almost sense how the next play would unfold and where the next shot would be taken." This state of effortless focus, where actions flow naturally and with clarity, mirrors the Taoist concept of harmony with the present. A story from the Taoist text Zhuangzi illustrates a similar principle through the example of a cook named Ting Point one day. Lord Wen observed Ting's incredible skill in butchering an ox and was fascinated by how effortlessly he worked. When the Lord praised his skill, Cook Ting responded by setting down his knife and saying, "What I care about is the way, which goes beyond skill." He continued, "When I first began cutting oxen, I only saw the ox itself. After 3 years, I no longer saw the whole ox, and now I go with the spirit, not relying on my eyes. My perception has ceased, and my spirit moves as it desires. I work with the natural contours of the animal, guiding the knife through its natural openings without touching the tendons or joints." In this story, the condition of Cook Ting's knife holds great significance. He explains that skilled cooks change their knives only once a year because they cut with precision, while mediocre cooks change their knives every month because they hack at their work. Cook Ting, however, had used the same knife for 19 years, relying on his skill and understanding of the process. This story embodies an essential Taoist teaching, the power of gentleness. Taoism teaches that true mastery lies not in forceful effort, but in understanding the natural flow of things and aligning ourselves with it. Just as Cook Ting works with the natural form of the ox, we too must learn to move through life with ease, allowing the forces around us to guide our actions instead of forcing our will upon them. Through this, we become attuned to the natural rhythms of life, where effort is replaced by flow, and strength is found in gentleness. In our efforts to accomplish tasks, we often force ourselves into action, expending more energy than necessary, and sometimes even causing unintended harm. While the striving may get the job done, it comes at a cost. On the other hand, when someone is in a state of flow, they approach the task with wisdom, knowing when to act and when to pause, striking a harmonious balance between action and inaction. It is the delicate equilibrium, not too much, not too little, that guides us. Like the perfect temperature, it lies between extremes of anxiety and boredom. This concept of non-action challenges the Western ideal of constant effort, where we are taught to push, control, and strive for results, no matter the cost. We are encouraged to be ambitious and work tirelessly, yet many of us find ourselves suffering from anxiety, depression, and fatigue. Are we perhaps overexerting ourselves? We tend to dismiss passivity, mistakenly equating it with laziness, yet these are two very different concepts. When we observe nature, we see that doing nothing is often more in harmony with the world than we might think. The outcome we seek is not simply a reflection of the effort we put in. Instead, it emerges as the result of a series of actions, many of which come naturally, requiring minimal intervention from us. Isn't it true that many of life's problems resolve themselves without our forceful attempts to solve them? Taoism compares life to a river. The river already has a course, and when we find ourselves in it, we have a choice: to swim against the current, to cling to a branch, or to let go and flow with the stream. Too often, we spend our lives struggling against the current, not even realizing that we are resisting the natural flow of things. In life, like the river, we must learn to go with the flow, to trust that the natural course will carry us where we need to go, without exhausting ourselves by constantly swimming against the tide. The key is to find the balance between effort and ease, between action and surrender. Only then can we truly experience the wisdom of non-action and allow life to unfold effortlessly. Our mind often believes that we must control everything around us in order to survive. This belief is rooted in ego, as it assumes that we should have power over all things. Yet, the reality is that most processes, both within us and in the world around us, are beyond our control. Consider our bodily functions: digestion, blood flow, healing. None of these are under our conscious command. We don't control the people we meet, nor can we predict the future. Even love, something so deeply personal, eludes our control, as we can't choose who we are drawn to or who finds us attractive. Much of what happens outside of us moves along its natural course, sometimes influenced by intellect, but more often shaped by forces that we cannot govern. When we stop trying to control, we begin to move with this flow, aligning ourselves with the natural order of things. This is the path of least resistance, where we allow nature to unfold without unnecessary interference. In Taoism, this approach mirrors the way we navigate a river. Instead of futilely trying to control its flow, the Taoist path teaches us to align ourselves with it, accepting its current and going along for the ride. Control is an illusion. The river flows on its own, regardless of our attempts to change it. The river itself, and particularly its water, embodies Taoist virtues. Water's essence is softness and humility, qualities that symbolize the true spirit of Taoism. As the Tao Te Ching beautifully expresses, the supreme good is like water, which benefits all of creation without trying to compete with it. It gathers in unpopular places. Thus, it is like the Tao. Water teaches us that true strength lies in yielding and adapting, not in dominance or force. In this way, Taoism invites us to embrace humility, letting go of the illusion of control and allowing life to unfold as it is meant to. Water may appear soft, yet it has the power to overcome the hardest of obstacles, as seen in the gradual erosion of rock over time. It does not seek out high places, but naturally flows to the lowest point, always moving without a specific goal, without ambition, yet it nourishes everything it touches. This incredible force of nature, water, works without any desire for recognition or reward, quietly fulfilling its purpose. It does not strive for anything, but it nourishes and sustains life effortlessly. Despite its softness, water is unmatched in overcoming what is rigid and unyielding. It is indeed the perfect embodiment of subtle strength. In a similar way, when we experience a state of flow, something essential shifts. We stop focusing on the outcome and simply immerse ourselves in the present task. This is the essence of what the Stoics call amor fati, the love of one's fate. Instead of worrying about the future or dwelling on past failures, we learn to embrace whatever comes, surrendering to the process itself rather than the result. Whether engaged in sports, writing, or dancing, when we enter the flow, we let go of the pressure, anxiety, and expectations. It is just you and the task at hand. In those moments, nothing else exists, and everything becomes effortless. To achieve this state, we must release the need to control, to fight the current, and to hold on to past regrets or future anxieties. To let go is to embrace the present moment fully, free from hesitation, free from distractions, and fully immersed in the now. This is where true peace lies, in surrendering to the flow of life and trusting that it will carry us exactly where we need to be. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to continue receiving content that challenges and nourishes both the mind and soul. We'd love to hear your thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Until next time, may you stay wise, stay stoic, and continue your pursuit of a life filled with purpose, balance, and peace.